Guys, hey Facebook community, happy Monday. I hope you guys are having an incredible Monday morning start. Some of you on the West Coast, some of my friends on the West Coast are just getting up. Lisa and I had a great morning this morning. We did devotions and worship and time with the Lord, and I got my Operation Underground Railroad shirt on, which is a ministry that we are now supporting on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, actually. And so today I wanted to talk to you about 7 ways to overcome yourself. A lot of us, I just had, hey, good morning, KJ. And I hope you guys, if you're watching live, just type in live. If you're watching on the replay, type hashtag replay so that I can know who's watching live and who's watching replay. So when I do these, I can reach more people. And when God put this on my heart to share this morning, I want to just make it known that I want to influence you. I thought about the passing of my mentor, one of my probably top 2 or 3 mentors in my life, maybe number 1. And in his memorial service just this past weekend. And one of the words that Pastor Willie Bolden talked about when he talked about John Lloyd was being intentional. And Dr. Lloyd always used to say, we have to get out of our own way and let God be in control. So there's 7 ways to overcome yourself. And hey, Tom, hey guys. So let me talk about this, and let me just share a little bit about what it says about when you're overcoming yourself. It says, it's basically we are our own worst enemies, right? We have a flash or self-doubt, self-indulgence, self-advertising, and we completely derail our best laid plans laid before us that we know we need to do, but we don't do them because we can't get out of our own way. We let distractions come in. And look, if you're struggling against yourself in your health, your relationships, or your business, you're not by yourself. I do it. We all do it. We all strive against our weakness and worst tendencies. So how can you overcome yourself to succeed? There are many practices you employ to play your advantages, minimize your weaknesses, and dodge all the toxic personal tendencies that stand in your own way. Okay? So I found these 7 great ways to overcome yourself. And number 1 is to know yourself. It's rule number 1 for a reason. Taking some time to dig in to who you really are can be super enlightening. Consider taking some time personally. There's different types of tests you can take. So I would tell you to take the DISC test, the Myers-Briggs test, emotional intelligence test. I would tell you to take the love language quiz and find out what your love language is. Do it with your spouse or your mate. And if you're hiring, the DISC test, if you're a boss and you're looking to hire people, look at the DISC test and use it. Russell Brunson uses it. Tony Robbins uses it. And find out and how to uncover your core values and your tendencies. When we were at our last mastermind, and Cole Hatter, who does Thrive, Make Money Matter, whose event is coming up in September, and if you're an entrepreneur, you should really look at going to Thrive. It was rated number 1 by Forbes magazine, and Lisa and I just can't wait for it. And then your second one is your strength training. We don't mean in the gym, right? You guys are thinking, oh, Mike's talking about strength training, but maybe that could be a part of it. We mean it's time to make a list of all the things you're really good at. And Lisa and I did this as she's at her office desk over there. We did this. We have a couple mentors and a couple business coaches as coaches ourselves. If you're an entrepreneur, you should have a business coach. It's investing in yourself. Set some money aside, which we do every single month, to have a business coach, right? And then just find out things that you're really good at. See how you can do more of those things. And stop procrastinating the things that you know you need to do, and do them. Just focus in on those. Once you've identified the aspects of who you are that make you strong, focus on developing those aspects and make them anchored, rooted, and grounded. When you're feeling discouraged, go back to those anchors to keep yourself motivated. I sent a video of a guy that I just love to listen to. I try to listen to him at least every day, if not at least 4 or 5 days a week. There's a guy named Todd White who talks about identity and encouragement and finding yourself and finding out who you are, who God created you to be. Number 3 is weak links. Okay, so if you're writing these down, number 1 was know thyself. Number 2, strength training, not our muscles. Number 3 is weak links. Now that you know your strengths, get brutally honest about your weaknesses. What do you hate doing? What are you not good at? What do you avoid? Where do you receive the most criticism? Or maybe where do you receive the most constructive criticism? A lot of times we gravitate towards people that tell us what we need to hear or what we want to hear, not what we need to hear. We need to gravitate more. The world would be 1,000 times better if we just gravitated towards the things that we need to hear, not what we want to hear. It's denying ourselves, right? The first step to converting a weakness into a strength is to recognize them and to really not super overly focus on them, okay? So remove roadblocks is number 4, okay? Do you always binge on ice cream late at night? Or, you know, if you're a male, do you struggle with pornography? Whatever that may be, right? One of my friends who I just had lunch with last week, a pastor up in Leesburg by my dad, my friend Pastor Terry Mahan. He said that he has roadblocks on all of his electronic devices that send messages to his wife to make sure that he's doing the right things. You know, just remember, you know, I'm not here to impose my faith or what I believe on you. I just know that I have a relationship with God, and God wants me to be 100% transparency, whether I'm on here or whether I'm by myself or wherever I am, whether I'm in public, whether I'm in private, right? So throw out those things. Make roadblocks that can keep you away from failing. Assign email work to someone else like we do. We have a virtual assistant. Find ways to just remove your personal setbacks at all costs. Okay, number 5, find a mentor. All right, guys, I work with men. Lisa's starting to work with women. Look, one of the things I read about when I was reading some stuff about this was, you know, alcoholics. They have Alcoholics Anonymous and other similar programs. You know, get around if you need a fitness coach or a health coach. Like I work with men in health, relationships, and business because I believe that when we have our health, our relationships are better. I've been working with a lot of pastors lately, and when I can fix their health, their churches thrive. Their relationships with their members of their church thrive better. Okay, it's because they've denied themselves and they know that they need help. And that high calling of a pastor or whatever that may be, as a father or a mother, you need accountability. You need someone to hold you accountable so that you can have that mentor and somebody that when you're struggling, you can go to. You know, I haven't even had a chance to answer, but I saw 2 messages pop up of people asking me for my phone number and needing somebody to talk to. Those are the type of people that I'm really excited when that happens, because I know that I get to find out what they're struggling with and try to encourage them. So number 6 is affirmations, okay? Write a list of affirmations that motivate and realign you with your values. You know, when we talk about our core values, I give this book to guys, Wild at Heart by John Eldredge. And if you've never read this book and you would like a copy, put your name down in the and I'm going to give away 1 or 2 of these to guys who really have never read it, and every man should read it. And I'll just be honest with you. I've had a lot of women have tell me that they read this and they use it as a principle of looking for a husband or for, you know, for their mate, a potential husband. Okay. If you have a tendency to procrastinate, you might want to repeat affirmations. I'm well prepared in advance of all challenges. Speak affirmations. I'm not fearful. I'm wonderfully made. I'm motivated. I'm whatever that may be. Repeat these daily. Lisa and I listen to John Eldredge's A Prayer every day. and we repeat it over ourselves and speak it over ourselves, thoughts become things, right? So the last one is address mistakes, right? We've talked before about facing our failures, right? It's part of overcoming me, Mike, right? Denying mistakes practically ensures that you will, right, that they'll be made again, right? Instead, own them. Say, I'm sorry, I failed. Learn consequences and you will overcome your weaknesses and setbacks. You are stronger than your weaknesses, and you can find success despite any personal circumstance. And what I really like about that is that allows me to understand who I am, how I can get out of my own way, how I can allow myself to see myself from that perspective. One of the things I realized this last weekend was that anytime something happens from perspective wise, I have to regather myself and say it could always be worse. And my wife gave this to me, and I'll finish with this. I did an interview and a podcast interview, which is really like this past weekend. I mentioned in the beginning that I went to this memorial service of a pastor who raised me and helped me become the man I am today. And Pastor Willie Bolden said some amazing things. And you know what I did? I woke up early on Sunday morning and I went back and rewatched his message and listened to it, got it in my spirit, and realized that I need to be that person that my friend Legacy Perez said. We were doing our interview and he saw my golf trophies and he said, "Hey, do you really like golf? Tell me what you like about golf." And I was like, I don't know. It sucks and it's fun and it's hot. And like my wife said yesterday, she goes, you're either really good or really or just average, right? And she said, "Why don't you focus on the good and not the bad?" And I was like, yes, that's it. That's it. Focus on the good and not the bad, right? Focus on things that I'm good at. And then Legacy said, "What do you like about dance?" And those of you who know me growing up, that's all I did. I was like 169 pounds. I ran and I danced. Graduated from Ohio State, 4-year letterman in track and field. And I loved to dance. That's all we did. We danced. So he said, look at the difference in your posture when you talked about dance compared to when you talk about golf. So I hope this encourages you guys today to know that you can overcome yourself. Change. Look, you can learn something from everybody. I'm so super excited that God has given me ability to help people overcome the things that they have never been able to overcome before, because I've been entrusted. And I was reading in Lamentations this morning about how God's given me wisdom and knowledge and understanding not to have to struggle with the things that my family struggled with and previous generations. And we haven't. We've had generations of alcoholics in our family. We've had generations of obsessive compulsive in our family. We've got out of the way of that and spoke that over life, that we're not going to have that. And our words are very, very powerful. What comes out of our mouth is super, super powerful. Speak positive. Be around people on Facebook and Instagram that are positive and encouraging and that have I'll be honest with you. I don't just do this just to be doing it. I do it because I feel like I have a moral responsibility to bring value and bring integrity. Our core values, and I'll finish with this. Our core values match up with the core values of the people that we surround ourselves with. Love, integrity, honor, humility, transparency, denial of ourselves, okay? Wisdom and knowledge, faith. So I hope this encouraged you guys today to really dig deep in, spend some time in personal development, guys. It'll go a long way in your business, in your relationships, whether you've desired, like I know a friend of mine that was talking about this morning, like wanting to have one more day. They have a story that could happen to. So life and death is in our tongue. Let's speak life. Let's get out of our own way and let's go out and make things happen this week. It's Monday. It's a new day. It's funny. I always heard this, that the most heart attacks happen on Monday, right? Why? because people are so stressed out because they have to go back to work again, right? How about taking today and looking at today why God's given it to you, and know that there are people around you that love you and care about you and need you. And so I hope this has been an encouragement to you today. It's been an encouragement to me. I always tell my wife when I do these things, it encourages me because I'm speaking them out, but I'm really speaking them over myself. So I love you guys. And you know what? I'm honored that you guys would take the time today to come on and listen. But just thank you guys so much. God bless you all. Have a good day.